I'll straight away start. So, whatever experiences I am going to tell you about supernatural or something not in an everyday phenomena is completely from my own experiences or something which have occurred in the family, come to me through my parents and etc. So it's not a hearsay at all. Yeah, and I'm going to start with something which happened with my parents. Um, okay, let me give you a little background. Both of them were recently married, young, and this has come to me from my mother. They're very young and married and belong to Bombay in a suburb called Goregaon. Now, of course, it is very well developed and a very hip place. But at that time, and I'm talking about 1940, 50. Okay, that way long, that long back. So a young couple married, and they decided to settle in Goregaon, and Goregaon was not a very developed place in Mumbai. Okay, most of it was a jungle-like forest area with few communities living, together. And they had a rented apartment or rented place, I would say. That time apartments were not there. Rented place in one of this small local community, very basic amenities, etc. And there was one station, Goregaon station was there, railways was there, some buses were plying, and etc. etc. So why I'm giving you a background, imagine a place which is not a modern place. It's a very simple place with lot of greenery and a lot of little bit of jungle kind of a scenario, and small communities grouped together and staying together. And they were staying in one of these, and my father was working in some place, I don't know, but he used to do shift duties. So morning shift and evening shift, there were these two shifts, and evening shift used to come by the last train which left Churchgate station and reached Goregaon around 12:31, I guess, that late, and that was the last train. Okay, after that there was uske baad koi train nahi tha. I hope this Hindi English will do. Let me know if there is any. I'll use both Hindi and English. Okay, so this was their life. So he used to go and come, and mom used to be alone at home, and there were few neighbors here and there. Okay, so one of these days, this has come to me from my mother. Okay, she and my dad also. So one day he came as usual, shift, करके वापस आ रहे थे 12:31, and from Goregaon station he was walking towards home, and it was of course pitch dark, nothing, no street lights, nothing, some road is there, but he was used to it. So अपने धुन में चलते रहे. He was walking towards home, and their home was a little away from the station, so he used to walk all alone on that road. And suddenly he said he heard someone calling to him. So the voice said, Mr. Rajay, ऐसे दो बार call, somebody called up, and a very decent, polite voice of a male. So he turned around and he said he saw one man. It was dark, so he could not recognize who he is, but obviously the guy knew him because he called him by his name. I mean, the surname is Rajay, maternal. Okay, so he called up, Mr. Rajay. He said yes. Didn't strike anything to him. What happened? So he asked for some address. Where is this place? Kind of, where, कहाँ है? In Marathi you say कुठे आहे ही place, जागा. Someone normally who calls looking for an address. So my Baba said, yeah, you go straight something and left or whatever is there. He guided him. You will find it. So he said, okay, thank you. And that was it. So Baba went a little further, and within 2 minutes he realized, hey, this is very odd. It is almost 1 o'clock, 1:30 at night. First of all, who is asking an address at 1:30 at night? Very funny. And secondly, who is this person who knows my name? So within a 2-3 seconds, he turned around to just check again who was this man, because somebody was walked away. He turned around and there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's when he realized that something is really wrong. And of course, there was a tremendous, he was scared. Okay, this is not possible. At around 1:30, somebody is calling my name, and just when he turned around, there's nobody. Somehow he reached home, and he was burning with high temperature. That's what mom says. He just came home, and he just collapsed. And he was burning with high temperature. So my mother didn't know what to do. What happened? He said, no, I don't know. I'm feeling very, very strange, very sick. And he felt sick. That night was terrible. Now, while they were there, I want to just take you back to, a little more about my parents. They followed, or they were devotees of Guru, who stayed in Goregaon, at the other side of Goregaon, Kamu Baba, and we used to call them Baba. He was actually a fakir. Now look at this. See the, something, how strange it is and how profound this is. So night they somehow managed to sleep, but Baba had a very high temperature. He was in a delirium kind of a state. Next day, this fakir, Kamu Baba, had a wife. So Baiji or Amma, we used to call her. Amma happened to come to my parents' place in the morning. And she never ventured out. And Baba to never went out of whatever his abode. But Amma came, and mother was shocked. He's in a high temperature. So my eye said, "You've come?" So she said, Usha is my mother's name. Baba sent me. Raje, kaisa hai? So she said, yeah, something happened last night. She said, he knew it. Please pack your bags and please immediately come to the place, where he stayed. So then, this is again very strange, but Baba knew it. Baba means Kamu Baba, their Guru knew it, that something had happened, and he sent his wife, Amma, to their place to pick them up. But aap idhar abhi nahi reh sakte. You can't stay here. Just pack your bags and bring him to me. So my parents, they went there and they stayed there for about 6 months, I think. And then he was taken care of there. Idhar aapko khatra nahi hai. That means you will not be in danger, sure. So there was something which kind of, some entity, I'm sure, that's what they said, which, got into met my father, banged into it, and that really affected him. It could have been very, very bad. But again, there was, because the Guru was there, and Guru knew it. There were no phones, mobile to chodo, phone bhi nahi the udhar. Nobody called, nobody said anything. It's just that he knew it then. And he sent Amma to our place, and they both, the young couple went there. And he was in a bad state. My father was in a bad state for a very long time, but with the care and Guru's kripa, or whatever you call it, medical attention was also given. He came out of it. So 6 months he did not, now, and then the story continues. 6 months he did not go to office. He was in no position to go. He was almost on his deathbed. Doctors had almost given up. So I think that abode where the Guru was so sacred. The sanctity, the energies kept away what was negative away. But there was definitely something negative there. for which had hit my father. So now Baba was a little worried. He said he got well, and then they were to go back home. So my father said, Baba, he addressed my guru, Baba भी तो ठीक है पर अभी नौकरी का क्या 6 महीने में गया नहीं. What about my job? It's been 6 months, though he had informed his company and whatever it is. He said, राजे कुछ फिक्र मत करना, तेरा नौकरी रहेगा, तुम्हारे पास पैसा भी आएगा, लेके आएगा. पैसा आएगा, कौन लेके आएगा? He didn't ask, but he was wondering. So they came back home, wherever they stayed. Next day, that time those cars were the Impala. I'm sure if there are old men have Impala was the car, like our BMW or something. One car I said around 11:30, 12 came to Goregaon and searching for Mr. Raje. Where is Mr. Raje staying? In small place, so everybody knew everybody. Idhar se udhar jao gali mein. And this Impala came. My father's boss that time was Ram Chattopadhyay, Bengali. Hirendranath Chattopadhyay's son. I think you must guys know. I'm sure you know about it. Hirendranath Chattopadhyay's son, Ram Chattopadhyay, was his boss and a very young guy. So he got down from the car and he came home. Baba was shocked. He said, Ram, sir, you are here. Mr. Raji, how are you? So I'm fine, I'm much better now. Do not worry. And he just took out some money. This is your 6 months salary. Okay, please keep it. My father had no words to say anything. Actually, need not worry when to come. You just rest, get well soon, and whenever you are ready, your position is there. Everything will be the same at office. Do not worry. Imagine, this is unbelievable, right? Boss खुद पैसे लेके आ रहा है, salary, because वहाँ that time it was no account transfers, etc. and all this was not there at all. So this is one thing I thought I'll share with you all, because my learning from this, or whatever I understood from this, is there are two main things. Yeah, Guru Kripa, absolutely, Bisha. One, that the supernatural entities are all around us. Somewhere I read or I heard in one of the talks that I had attended or I've seen on the YouTube, not that everything we'll look at the internet is true, but a lot of it made sense to me, where this expert was saying that 70 to 80% people or things, 70 to 80%, they get attached to at least 70 to 80% people in this world are attached by these entities. They're looking to cling to something. So there are these spirits, definitely supernatural is around. I mean, this has happened with my father, something which my mom told me. We were not born that time. So it is there. However, another important thing that I learned is the countering. Guru is one of Guru's Shakti, is one big Shakti or energy that can protect you, guide you all the time. And that's what had happened in their case. So this is no hearsay, but yes, come from horse's mouth, actually. So, and I still have, we call the Guru Azoba, that is grandfather in Marathi. And I was told that we were born because of his blessing. My parents did not have issue for a very, very long time. There was no family planning or nothing like that, medical aid, nothing. And then he used to keep telling them, do not worry, Ishwar pe bharosa rakhna. And then they were blessed with us, children of one, and so on and so forth. So that's something about my own dad. And would you like to? Yeah, it's really unbelievable, but this has happened in my family. Would you like to hear something more again, which has come in the family? I can tell you something a little more exciting, and which has again happened in the family. So, all right. Uh, I will talk about this is what I'm going to talk about is something which happened with my mama, and they were very young. My mother's family was a large family with 10 children and gaon mein village. So there is this gaon called I forgot its name, Narsur. Yeah, they used to say in this small place in a village in Maharashtra called Narsur. Yeah, and there were these 10, 12 kids, like a big family and a big gaon. And my grandfather was a patil or the chief or the mukhia of the village. And these mamas were all, kushti wale, and, they used to have this wrestling, all that kind of sports with the village boys and all. And surrounding this village was a very dense forest. And this forest was called Veena's jungle. Veena, I don't know why. I mean, Veena is my name also, but it was called Veena's jungle. Again, it has come directly from my mama's mouth when when we grew up, and this has been told to us by them what they had encountered. So one of the mama, Bal mama. Bal is chota, but he was not chota. He was quite well built and all that. So Bal mama and some knocker, see what they used to happen. They used to go to the nearby towns or little bit villages for something, for some agriculture shopping, etc., and they used to go in these bullock carts. गाड़ी वाड़ी तो थी नहीं, तो बुलक कार्ट. एंड देयर यूज्ड टू बी दिस 2-3 hefty तगड़े नौकर रहते थे. दे नौकर तो क्या, दे वर लाइक देयर फ्रेंड्स, बट देन दे वर्कड विद इन देयर हाउस and very loyal, and people. It's an insult to call them nokar, I feel, because they would give their lives for their masters. Those kind of people. So 2-3 boys like this and this Bal mama, they left early morning to go to that adjoining taluka or place for some agriculture shopping. But it was an unwritten rule that before the sunset you should return back, because after sunset nobody would cross that Veernath's jungle. Okay. That jungle was nobody dared to cross that. It was very dense also. There was something that यहाँ कुछ होता है. Unfortunately, what happened was they got delayed, and sunset तो हो गया था. अभी I mean that time even 7 o'clock was like a bit, very dark, and it was like not like this thing. So everybody used to go to sleep by 8 o'clock. So you can imagine 6:37 also khana wana hua. Now the knocker told him, that guy, I won't call him knocker, his friend I will call him. There were 2 of them. One was driving that bullock cart and the other one was with him. 3 of them were sitting there. So he said, Bala Sahib, should we go? He said, otherwise, what is the option? I mean, there are no hotels, or where do we stay? Gadi ghala, should we take the cart in the jungle? So he said, you tell me. He said, chalte hain. At least let us see, because already it is sunset, it is slightly dark, and it's going to take us 1 hour to cross this and reach our village. But देवी का नाम लेके, that कुल देवी, कुल की देवी होते हैं, everybody believed in the देवी. So देवी का नाम लेके, sorry, let's go. So they started in the jungle, and Mama told me, Mama used to tell this story. It was a pitch dark. Nothing, only that kirkur something, and they were taking that Devi ka chanting करके, Devi, उनके घर की जो देवी थी, उसका देवी chant करके, they were all three of them going. Suddenly, the bulls, they started behaving uneasy. So, just they were running, and then they stopped, and they started tried to go haywire and etc. So the person who was driving the cart, he said, "आ गया, कोई तो आ गया है." Look at the himmat, means because he understood that something had they say the animals can sense the supernatural immediately or faster or quicker than us, because they have that animal instincts in them. That's what they said. So they started, when the bulls started going haywire and stopped going forward, they wanted to they started pushing back. He said, okay, now all of you all just hold on, koi to aa gaya hai. So this started happening. The gadi stopped. He was holding on to Gadi, and something strange started happening with the animals. It was not moving forward, getting forward, anything. Then he told his these guys, Mama said, "Let me get down, let me check if something problem with the wheel." He said, "Nobody is getting down. Nobody is getting out of the bullock cart." Again, there is this very strong belief that bullock cart has this iron things, attached to it. कुछ तो होते हैं उनकी. Iron is, it kind of stops or dissuades this entities from coming towards you. स्टॉप करता है, या उसको थोड़ा सा धक्का लगता है, या they scared of iron, I don't know, but something like this. So while you are in the cart, in the bullock cart, गाड़ी में तब तक कुछ नहीं होगा. Nobody is going to get. And the bulls, they started jumping and all that, literally they fall off. Something like this started, but these guys were hanging on to it. So almost for 20-30 minutes this is happening. And then this guy was sitting next to my mama. He said, "Abhi main isko dekhta hu." Young boy, about 20, solid guy. Yeah. Oh yeah, in Bengalis also. Yeah. So now Bisha is saying, even in traditionally Bengalis also, कि iron is a negative energy for the negative. I guess we can put it like that. Yes. So the boy who was sitting next to my mama, okay, he said, "Abhi tum," bole, my mama got scared. So he said, "Bala sahib, हमारा जान जाएगा, प्राण जाएगा, but आपको बाल कभी टेढ़ा नहीं होने देंगे." So this was the loyalty of those people then, And what happened? He said, now I know with all the due apologies, because this may not sound very polite and decent, but I'm still going to tell you what he did. He got up, he just stood, and he opened a loincloth. Okay, now those days they used to just wear a langot kind of a thing and something, a small, maybe a shirt. That's all. Dhoti bhi nahi thi bicharon ke paas. So opened his loincloth and he just stood like this, nanga. When that happened, suddenly, something screamed. Suddenly they heard scream. Re Vachla. You know what is Vachla? Bach gaya re, bach gaya. So again, it is a belief that the nudity, the male nudity, it kind of discourages or scares this entity. I am not an expert on this. This is what has been told to me. This is what they did. Mama has seen this, and this is what has come to me. So I don't know what is this is the gospel truth or something, but this happened. So when this guy stood up in his naked, something happened, and as if somebody is running away, and then the person sitting as in the driver's seat, he just whipped the bulls and said, "Abhi kidhar rokega nahi, seedhe ghar chalo." And then they just raced the cart towards the home, past the rest of the jungle, and they said they heard this voice, Vasla re Vachla, and we still remember the way he used to tell exactly like that. I'm telling you, re Vachla re Vasla means bach gaya re bach gaya. So some entity there, whatever was there, had to leave them, let them go, and Vachla re Vachla, bach gaya re bach gaya. This guy who had stood like this, in his naked, he was so bold, so courageous. He also said, screamed at the top of it, "Tu bhi bach gaya, tu pan vachla re vachla." Like he was saying कि वो जो अगर दो नहीं होते, he also screamed and told that entity, "तुम भी बच गया रे बच गया, तू पण वाचला रे वाचला." Then all three of them came home, and the entire gaon was actually literally the whole village was waiting for them, and they had almost given up the hopes. And then immediately they were taken to the temple, etc., etc. गांव में मंदिर होता था, देवी मंदिर, देवी was गांव की देवी बोलते थे उसको, तो वो मंदिर में they took them and all that, उनका सारा okay. Anyway, nothing happened, but this is again which I have heard from my Bal Mama, from my Mama and my mother, and this is again something which I'll never forget. So again, we don't know what scares them and all, but iron, like it says. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, it is funny, but yes, courage. And imagine that time. You just imagine there's nobody there. I mean, we are just sitting in here and talking about it, but the actual situation where nothing is there and you don't know what's going to happen, and but इन लोगों को टोटका भी मालूम होता था. Like these people, you see this the survival I think happened that time with very less resources, or absolutely with very bare necessities of life, because they knew a lot of things which we don't know right now, to deal with a lot of things which we really are helpless these days. So probably this is true. I don't know what has nudity to do with scaring the ghosts, but yes, this has happened. This has really happened, and these two incidents, one about my father, one about my mama, this has happened. And all I can say is there were people who were so courageous and who were willing to give their lives for their masters. This is one of their stories, Otherwise, my mama said, "Well, Mama, I would never have been alive if these two boys were not with me." And they were almost of the same age, you see. So that's it, the second one. And we still have some time. I hope you guys are, enjoying, and I hope it's interesting to you guys. Okay, I guess it is. And so the third one which I thought I will share with you is again which happened, which I have seen. What I have seen, I'll tell you. I mean, nothing, no ghost or anything, but what has happened. You see, generally we say, na, Amavasya mein, reminds me of childhood story. Yes, Vishank, yes. So, thank you, Vishani, and thank you, Vishank. I generally I make it a point to share all the traditional, not just these stories, but a lot of things that has happened in my life as a child and what has come to me from my parents with my children. So they have grown up hearing all these stories. And one more thing that strikes me, actually I have not prepared anything, but it's just that something which is coming to my mind, which I have seen, and this is something which I have seen. So I'm definitely going to tell you this because I found it very interesting, and sometimes I think about it also. I feel sad and very sad and overwhelmed at times. So what happened really? My brother, my younger brother, his name is Ashwin. He was born and he was he was born with bronchitis and a lot of problems as a child, lot of problems, breathing problems, etc. And I'm 3 years, almost 3 years, 3.5 years older to him. But I distinctly remember parents always anxious. Again, the Baba, Kamu Baba, Guru always helping, something or the other always happening there. And I was too young to understand anything. But always this Ashwin, Ashu we called him. My brother was very sick child. And suddenly he used to almost stop breathing sometimes, as a baby you can see, So my mother was always anxious, and suddenly again everything used to be normal. So a lot of medications, etc. So one day someone told my mother that, hey, Amavasya hai. So one of these Amavasyas, what you do is you take a nimbu and उसके ऊपर से 3 बार ऐसा घुमाना, and that नींबू काट के बाहर फेंक देना, like नजर उतारते kind of that. But that person had specifically said नींबू लाना, अमावस्या के दिन ऐसे घुमाना और उसको काटना, उसके सर के ऊपर से ऐसे काट के रेलवे स्टेशन या रेलवे फाटक के ऊपर फेंक देना, रेलवे ट्रैक. Ma said, okay, now who will do this? She was very scared of these things also. There was this boy working for us. I remember him. Okay, his name was Raja Ram. Telugu guy from Andhra. Again, 23-year-old. He worked with us. सब करता था काम हमारा, washing, this, that, घर का. And was very funny, very lively guy, always singing away. माँ बहुत डांटती भी थी, भूख लगे. He used to act like a child, अम्मा भूख लगी, अभी दे दो कुछ खाने को, kind of. So I remember this thing like this, and he used to take me to school. Once I came crying home because I was in KG, and some girl used to bully me, pinch me or something like that, and he got so upset. He said, मेरे को मैडम बोलता था, I don't know why, but he always used to call me मैडम क्यों, किसने मारा, किसने क्या, चलो दिखाओ. And he found out who was a girl, and then kind of scared her, and should not touch her, this madam or something like that. He said that means basically a wonderful person, a very lively guy, very clean hearted, young at heart, childlike boy, Rajaram. My mother was very fond of him. She used to shout at him a lot, but also बहुत प्यार से रखती थी. So calling Rajaram करती रहती थी, कुछ भी हो. So when this happened, बोली, my parents were, she was telling my father, you do this, that limbu का काटने का वगैरह, कल अमावस्या है. तो my dad said, I can't do this, I get too scared. Rajaram heard it. Rajan said, अरे आई साहब, why you worried? मैं हूं ना, तुम क्यों बोल रहे इसको करो, साहब को क्यों बोल रहे, मैं करेगा, अपना बाबा के लिए मैं करेगा. So they said, okay fine, will you do it? हाँ मैं करेगा. उसमें क्या है, नींबू तो काटना है, वो खाने. I mean they believe, no, such maybe some negative energy is there, so वो also to ward off that energy. That obviously that was the remedy that was told to them. Next day this guy नींबू आया. I distinctly remember. I was also standing there. मैं तो बहुत छोटी थी, first standard or something. And वैसा किया उसने. And ऐसे वो नींबू काटने गया तो उसका उंगली कटा. And my parents got so, they panicked because blood was flowing profusely. So my mother, अरे मेलिया, मतलब वो प्यार से बोलते हैं ना, मरिया, मेलिया means, what do you say? I can't explain in English this गाली. किधर से कैसा देख कर रहा है, कैसे वो कर रहा है, देखो तुम्हारी उंगली कर. And the blood started. So he told my mama, wait, मेरा जितना खून पीना है ना, पीने दो उसको. Imagine. So what he was implying was कि whatever that entity was, जो भी खून पीना है मेरा पीने दो, बाबा को कुछ नहीं, मतलब बच्चे को कुछ नहीं होने. And my mother felt very bad about the whole thing, you know. She said no. She tied उसको बैंडेज, बहुत खून भया. फिर वो जाके नींबू वींबू फेंक दिया. खत्म बात. नेक्स्ट अमावस्या 15 days की आती है. दिस बॉय आस्क्ड माय मदर कि मेरे को ना उधर जाना है. आई एम गोइंग विथ माई फ्रेंड्स टू सी अ मूवी, गिव मी मनी. शी सेड ओके, हाउ मच यू वांट, टेक. कैसे जाएगा? और ट्रेन से. ऑल देयर फ्रेंड्स, द अंद्रा बॉयज वर देयर, यू नो. शी सेड मैं जाऊँगा, सुबह जाएगा, रात को वापस आता हूँ. शी सेड ठीक है, जाओ. That day was Amavasya. I mean that night. 15 days. And they went. And रात को आया नहीं वो. बाबा बोला, my father said, अरे पड़ा होगा, कोई दारू पिया होगा, आएगा सुबह. Early morning, some people came to our place and said that accident हो गया. What accident? Yesterday night when these boys were coming back, Rajaram, that he was hanging out of the train, that pole hit him, he died on the spot. Now 15 days, पहली अमावस्या और सेकेंड अमावस्या तक वो रहा नहीं. He was no more. And this is something my mother felt, कि वो जो संकट, whatever was bothering my brother, he took on himself. और उसने अपना जान दिया. Because after that my brother started getting well. It's a very sad story, and my parents, I mean my mother was so completely broken. It's very, very sad, yeah. And this has happened. I have seen it. I still remember him. And suddenly this last Pitru Paksha, I think, I told Ishank about this or something. After many years, this thing, suddenly I thought of it. I said, "Really, this boy used to be there. He gave his life." And this is what my mother firmly believed. He gave his life. Because एक अमावस्या हुआ, दूसरे अमावस्या तक वो रहा भी नहीं. And it must be so deadly. Yeah, great. And he did realize probably that it was a sacrifice. He thought, but that thing, you know, ek dusre ka. So that is why, now that I think of it, my parents used to be, you know, particularly my mom used to be, after that, used to tell us, be very careful when you cross the roads. On Amavasya and all that, I don't know nowadays people do it or not, but कुछ ना कभी कभी ऐसा चौराहे पे नींबू रखते, कुछ दिखता था. I used to see some नींबू, some kumkum, some कुछ नारियल पड़ा हुआ. She used to tell us, never touch it, or you know, never go cross the road थोड़ा अच्छे से, particularly at the crossroads. They something I have seen this happen, you know, and even now I have seen this, you know, when in my colonies also somewhere people throw and all that. But you should not touch it. So I'm telling you guys also, please, if you ever see these things at crossroads, something thrown with kumkum, please be very careful. Don't touch it, or even by mistake. अभी भी रहता है. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, a lot of people practice it. So they don't. The intention is not to cause bad for us, but whatever is the intention, we don't know. But you don't have to touch it or lat mara. Yeah, you just avoid it. So anyway, suddenly last Pitra Paksha, when we do Pitra ki puja, हम लोग करते ईशान से. I always get it done for all my side relatives, my mothers and my fathers, and about whomever I remembered. And suddenly I remembered last year this young boy Rajaram. I said, "Arey, usko bhi pani pilao." And I felt so overwhelmed. Yeah. So I felt so overwhelmed. I said, "Poor guy, this young guy, he died, and probably it's too much of a coincidence, no?" So that is why उसको भी हमने किया था. And I'm so very grateful. If he's listening somewhere, his soul is there, I just want to thank him, tell him how grateful we are. I don't know if my brother remembers him. Probably he doesn't even know, but probably nobody remembers him. But I did remember him after very many years, and I felt it's such a sad thing, and so overwhelmed by so out of the blue, some stranger not even related to you, some karma, something, maybe something to give back came, and that's it. So those were the 3 stories that I thought I'll share with you all, which were very, very personal experiences, and that's it from my side. Thank you for being so patiently listening to me. If there is any questions, or you want any more elaboration on something, yeah. So that's it. There are still 10 minutes more, but I had this tree, and because 4th one would be too crowded, too much, I think, for the evening. So these are, and there are many more. I mean, I have had lot of experiences, good, bad, ugly, everything. Yeah, he was a pure soul, absolutely, Visha. And wherever he is, thank you, Rajaram. Thank you so much. I really want to thank him. Oh yeah. So thanks, lovely seeing you guys here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And my name is Veena Babutapas. My name is Veena Chipper, and I'm Ishan's mother. So thanks a lot. I tried to make it as natural. Yeah, thank you. Good night everyone. Be safe. God bless you all. Stay blessed. Thank you.
Please subscribe to our channel Hana Tales. Comment, share, like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos.